Today, we're going to discuss how a heat pump actually works and why it might be the best fit for your home. Let's get started. So how a heat pump actually works is it functions very similar to an air conditioner. And the reason we have it is thankfully because of air conditioning technologies. It is taking heat from one area and moving it to another area. So an air conditioner is going to be running cold refrigerant in your house. And that cold refrigerant is going to have air blown across its coils. And then we're going to have heat from the home absorb into that refrigerant. And that refrigerant is going to make its way back outside to the condenser, where we would actually call it a heat pump for this video, but to the condenser. And then another fan pulls air across the coils where we have, a warmer gas. And now we're displacing the heat that we gathered inside and putting it outside. So that's why whenever you put your hand over a condenser fan motor, a lot of times during the summertime, that air is warmer than the outside air around you because we are moving heat from one place to another. Now, a heat pump, what it does is it has a little reversing valve inside of it. And that little reversing valve is talking to the thermostat. And the thermostat is looking for a call for heat. So in air conditioning mode, a heat pump is working as the same way an air conditioner does. We have a heat pump outside. Then on the indoor, we might have a gas furnace or an air handler with electric heat strips, a blower, a coil, and the whole 9 yards. The biggest variance on a heat pump versus an air conditioner is the condenser versus the heat pump. And whenever that heat pump gets a signal that says, hey, we're calling for heating, well, now it's going to energize the reversing valve. And what the reversing valve does for us is it changes the direction of refrigeration flow. So instead of our evaporator coil or our normally cold coil being inside, well, now we reverse the flow and now we make our cold coil the outside coil. And it's really counterintuitive because you're outside, it's cold, it's 30, 40 degrees, and you're thinking, how are we gonna be pulling heat from outside and putting it inside? Well, this is where heat pumps often get kind of misunderstood. People are used to, especially here in Oklahoma, that warm, toasty air that comes out of their vents. They put their hand up to the vent and it's really hot air coming out of there. It makes you feel all nice and cozy. A heat pump isn't really gonna have nice, hot, toasty air. It is gonna have somewhere around, 70, 80, 90 degree air, just depending on the time of year and how cold it is outside. And so with that air though, we're gonna be able to maintain the heat set point unless you just wanna live in a terrarium and set your heater to 80 something degrees, 90 something degrees. Heat pumps can get there, but boy, they're gonna work an awful lot to do so. But it's gonna be able to maintain your normal desired set points pretty much year round, but it's doing so by pulling heat from outside and moving it inside. So what we've done with a heat pump is we've taken what once was our evaporator coil, we've now made that our outdoor unit, the outdoor coil, and that coil that is outside, which normally was in the condensing space, the condensing mode where we had hot gas, is now inside. And we're still blowing air across those coils, moving heat from one place to another. That's all air conditioning is. It is the goal and the ultimately the direction of HVAC companies is we want to be experts in thermodynamics. And one of the ways that we can do that is taking heat from one place and moving it to another. So when it comes to heating, cooling your home, a heat pump is going to be a little bit more expensive than your traditional air conditioner because it has the capability to serve as both sides of the air conditioning equation, the heating and the cooling. And so whenever you decide to replace your system, before you go anywhere else, scan the QR code here or click the link below and you can get an instant estimate in less than 2 minutes. All we ask for is just a little bit of information to make sure you're in our service area. And then beyond that, you are running clear and can see what it would cost to get a heat pump installed on your home. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, learned a lot, and as always, do something nice for somebody. You never know, it might change their life.
Yarbrough and Sons, Yarbrough and Sons, these are the folks you should know.